Why is dietary fibre so important? Well, you can see on the screen here we've got some of the standard answers. So it will lower fat absorption, lower cholesterol, stabilise or optimise cholesterol levels within the blood, stabilise blood sugars, feed gut bacteria, improve bowel transit, and feel satisfied. So those are the sort of the buzzwords. But what we're going to do, we're going to delve a little bit deeper. We're going to look at the anatomy and see how fibre works with our anatomy to keep us healthy. And the image on the screen that you can see is of our bowel, and it's sort of cross-sectioned with all the different layers. And you may be able to see it, you may not be able to see it. It's quite small print. But basically, we're looking at this part here. And what this part here says, circular muscle and longitudinal muscle. So you can see those two up here. Now, what these muscles are doing is you've got longitudinal muscles, which essentially, as it sort of says on the tin, as it were, you've got longitudinal, so it's going along the tube, if you will. And then you've got these circular muscles. So again, these circular muscles go around. Now, what these muscles are doing, these are known as the smooth muscles within the small intestines and the large intestines, or the bowels. And what they're doing is help the food move. So what they're able to do is the circular muscles, as you can see here, are thicker and more powerful. The longitudinal muscles contraction shortens a segment and increases diameter. So what it's essentially doing is it's sort of expanding and contracting the tube that the food moves through. So it's then able to move it. But what it's also doing is it's not only moving food forward, it's also folding it. And we're going to talk about that in another tutorial where we look at another part of the design of the small intestines and why it's so important that we get these proper foods in, and the design of the anatomy that goes along with it. So what we are basically doing, along with along with chewing of food, is we are mixing the food. So we are using that to mix the food around, essentially a bit like a washing machine, to fold it, move it. So all the different bits of food are exposed to the small intestines where it can be absorbed. But where the importance of the fibre comes in is that it helps or it bulks food, so it helps it move. And that's where these muscles come in, is that they need that bulk to be able to fold it, to be able to move it. And the more it can fold it and the more it can move it, the more food is exposed to the intestines, which therefore then allows more opportunities for nutrients to be absorbed into the body, again keeping us healthy. So it's very important that we eat these fibrous foods for the main reason that it bulks out the food. And what that bulking out does, it allows the circular muscles, which go around the intestine, or the passageway of the intestine, and the longitudinal muscles to contract and expand, and basically use that contraction and expansion to not only move the food forward, but also fold it, roll it, so on and so forth. So again, that food can be exposed to the little fingery protrusions, which we're going to talk about in another tutorial, to absorb that food. So it's vitally important that we get fibre into the diet, and what we're going to talk about is those foods. And there are two types of fibre. We need them both, but we've got soluble and insoluble. Now, soluble essentially dissolves in water. It attracts water and turns it into a gel during digestion. This slows digestion, which again helps with the folding, helps with the exposure of food to villi and the absorption rate, so on and so forth. Because if it moves too quickly, the foods or the nutrients are going to miss that opportunity. And where it's found, again, the normal types of foods: oat bran, barley, nuts, seeds, beans, lentils. So when we do hear all these buzzwords and all these foods that people keep saying, what I'm trying to say is the reason why, or a little bit of a deeper reason why, of your body is designed for those foods, and your body wants those foods and your body needs those foods to be able to work optimally, to be able to work properly, so it can then take in those foods. So peas, some fruits, vegetables. So we need all those different types of foods within the diet. Then we've got this insoluble fiber. Now the insoluble fiber doesn't dissolve in water. This one provides the bulk. So as you can see here, adds bulk to help food pass more quickly through the stomach and the intestines, as I've explained. And then you can see with regards to the food sources, we've got the wheat bran, we've got the vegetables, again we've got the whole grains. So again, they're standard foods. That bit doesn't really change from diet to diet, but we need to be getting fibre in, essentially because our intestines, our anatomy is designed for that type of food for a very specific reason, to slow the transit so it can fold and move, so the nutrients can be exposed to the villi within the intestines, and that allows proper absorption. Again, if we haven't got the fibre, it doesn't move through as effectively, it doesn't expose nutrients to the intestines, and therefore it doesn't get absorbed quite as well. So it's all interlinked in that regard. So again, fibre is in some respects one of the most important foods that we can get, although some diets do like to maybe miss out some of those foods. But as I've mentioned so many times, and I'll repeat myself again, fibre is an essential part of the diet. This is something that we need to get in. So please do eat those fibrous foods, get the intestines working properly, and get as healthy as you can. Many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from Christopher Hall Training. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it's been helpful. Hopefully it's been informative. Stick some comments down in below if you've got any questions. If you've got any comments, please do just add them below. Click subscribe, click the bell, get notified when I release my next video. Many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from Christopher Hall Training. I'll speak to you in the next tutorial.